pre-professional ballet dancer, to fighting for my life, chronic Lyme disease, to a gymnastics coach and choreographer, raising awareness through my journey with ECAD Service Dog Sonoma. This is me, and you're watching Chronically Cassidy.
Today on Lucky Dog, these 5 dogs are jumping at a chance for a forever home. I know, but for them and their families, the path to a new life wasn't always so easy. In celebration of the spirit of life, we revisit some of Lucky Dog's most life-saving, life-affirming, and life-changing adoptions.
Take a minute. No, take a minute. Take your time.
I'm Brandon McMillan, and I've dedicated my life to saving the lonely, unwanted dogs that are living without hope. My mission is to make sure these amazing animals find a purpose, a family, and a place to call home. Today, one dog will be saved, and one family will have a new best friend.
This is such a good show.
This is Lucky Dog, presented by Cosequin Joint Health Supplements. For most families, zeroing in on the right rescue dog comes down to a few simple factors: a dog's size, breed, age, and personality. But sometimes it's a matter of life and death. Such was the case with Tank, a smart, even-tempered lab mix that was called up to serve a veteran in need.
My name is Dave. I live in Los Angeles with my wife, Leslie, and my 2 sons, Cody and Owen. I'm medically retired from the Navy for diabetes. I have an extremely active family, so that brings some unique challenges for a diabetic who's trying to also take care of 2 kids. I'm a type 1 diabetic, which means that I have to take insulin. I have to check my blood sugar between 4 and 8 times a day, depending on my activity level. The only issue I have is that I'm a very heavy sleeper, so I do not wake up until the night.
That's not good.
It's often my wife that wakes me up. You know, my wife is a nurse at the VA, and now she's full-time at a fire academy. And I'm thinking about how do I find a backup plan that's going to wake me up, particularly since my wife will be working 24-hour shifts and there'll be nobody else, no safety net.
If nothing or no one is there to wake him up when he really needs it, he might not ever wake up. And that's where I see the benefit of a diabetes alert dog in his life.
Service dogs are so
A
amazing.
companion will take extensive training and a keen sense of smell.
I'm just so fortunate to have Sonoma.
Dogs have several hundred million scent receptors in their nose, and this is why dogs have the ability to detect changes in a body. One of the best ways to detect these drops in sugar levels is through saliva.
Every 30 minutes, take one of these gauze pads with the glove on, put it in your mouth, swirl it around, get it covered in saliva, put it in the bag. When you put it in the bag, check your blood sugar levels. If it's normal, don't do anything, put it in the freezer. At some point in the day, your blood sugar level will drop. When it gets between 70 and 80, I want you to put this in your mouth, swirl it around, put it in the baggie, mark that baggie positive. That right there holds the magic potion to how we're going to train Tank. I'll be by every week or so to pick up the samples.
Sounds good.
So now I have the gauze pads in my possession.
My friend did that for low blood sugar.
There are 6 cans total, but only 1 has the gauze pad in it. So he goes to the first can, sniffs it, moves along. The second can, sniffs it, moves along. Third can, sniffs it, moves along. And the 4th can he hits has the gauze pad in it. The second he sniffs it, I instantly click and treat. Good, good. There you go, good. After he finishes the treat, he starts sniffing the cans again, but he's at an empty one. Nothing happens. And again, he goes back to another one that's empty. Nothing happens.
Where is it? Go find it. Where is it? Good.
Suddenly, he comes across the can with the gauze pad in it. The moment he gets there and shows any interest at all, I click and treat. But I don't want him to think that it's the can that he's after. So I remove that gauze pad and I move it to another can. So this time, he goes right to that can where the gauze pad was. But there's no click and treat. What happened? He moves on to the one with the gauze pad. What happens?
It's amazing how these animals can be trained.
Good, there you go. Good boy. But in the real world, there are millions of potential distractions. So Brandon ups the ante by placing different kinds of exciting scents in different cans. Soon, Tank is confidently avoiding the distractions and indicating only on the target samples.
Good, good, good. There you go.
As time goes on, Tank learns to identify the smell even when it's no longer in the can.
Oh, there you go.
And just as importantly, he learns to indicate by nudging Brandon, which is how he will be able to wake up Dave when his blood sugar drops in the middle of the night.
Perfect.
Once Tank is ready for duty, he suits up with a new uniform
Good.
and meets his new handler, Dave. Over the next several weeks, Brandon and Dave work exhaustively to build a potentially life-saving bond between Dave and Tank.
Good.
Bond is just so important in training.
Oh, good boy. Good boy.
Eventually moving the training from Lucky Dog Ranch to Dave's home.
Oh, perfect.
Good. Keep this up day after day. The fact is, there's no guarantee. It's either going to take or it's not.
Well, we'll keep working on it.
Keep in touch, man.
Thanks a lot.
See you, Tank. Now it's out of my hands. Now it's all up to Tank if he can actually do this.
A month later, Brandon gets his answer.
Middle of the night, about 2 a.m. Of course, I'm in a dead sleep, and there he is. He got two paws up on the bed and looking at my face, making sure I wake up.
And you checked your levels and he was accurate?
He was accurate. He was right on. I had
That's
enough time to still
amazing.
make corrections. I wasn't dangerously low yet, so it's the perfect answer for me. How fantastic is it for me that I end up with not only just a member of my family, but a member of my family that can save my life?
You got it from here, Dave?
I do. Thank you for all the help.
Take care of him.
Thanks a lot. I'll do that.
Untrainable poodle mix.
What are you doing, Sonoma?
After a surprising diagnosis.
It's... Let me turn off the TV.
You know, I'm really particular about women.
Okay. It's really crazy and weird because, like, I've had Sonoma for over a year. He's gonna be turning 3 in August, the end of August, but still. So it's not long away, and it seems like we just celebrated his 2nd birthday, and time is just flying by. And I'm just, like, watching shows like this, they don't usually have dogs on the show where they rescue a dog and get it into a good home. I've seen like one dog become a therapy dog, so work with other people in a school. I think maybe one I saw have a service dog or become a service dog because they're shelter dogs, and it's a lot harder to gauge whether or not they're going to make it or not, and it's really challenging. But when I just found this episode because I don't feel like going to sleep, and I look like I'm dressed for winter, but I'm just really freezing. And I don't know, I'm just having some insomnia. It's just about to turn midnight. So I turned on my TV and Lucky Dog was on, that was recorded, and I found like this special episode that shows like 5 special dog things into one. So that wasn't the whole program, but that was the one snippet of that dog, and I'm gonna watch the other ones and see what they do. That's like incredible, and I just have such a respect for all kinds of service dogs and working dogs, like police dogs and dogs that work in the military. Like, it's incredible the training and what goes into getting these dogs to do what they're able to do, and the people that help them be able to do that, the ability of the dog, the willingness of a dog, the compassion of a dog. It's really unbelievable, and that they're literally able to save someone's life. That could be diabetic related, it could be me during a seizure, having Sonoma there to help me or alert me so I know to lay down and not go down a flight of stairs at that moment. It's just, watching it on TV is surreal, because I'm like, oh my gosh, no, I don't have a diabetic alert dog, but I have a service dog. How crazy is that? Like, how lucky am I to have such an amazing dog to help me with what I'm going through now with Lyme disease, and it's honestly the biggest blessing ever. And everyone who gets a service dog, whether it's a psychiatric service dog for PTSD, a guide dog, even an ESA, which is an emotional support animal. They're not the same as service dogs, but they're also a little different than pets, but quite similar. They're just such amazing things to be able to have in your life, and to be able to help someone through a really difficult diagnosis and lifestyle, and it just makes everything better, way better than it was without Sonoma. Now I'm gonna see what they're doing with this poodle mix. I'll check in later. I don't have a light over here. That's okay. Should I turn my iPad? I don't know if that would brighten it a little. Yeah, that really didn't help. Anyways, I am watching Lucky Dog, and the poodle mix is on TV. And the incredible thing about the poodle mix is that the poodle is deaf, completely deaf. So, whatever the guy's name is, had to teach the dog all the common basic commands through not speaking but hand signals. And that's pretty easy. Like, you know, sit, stay, like, and then he said how difficult it was for come. Or really not difficult to him, but difficult to think about, because when I'm calling Sonoma, he might be looking at me, but usually it's like when he's in a different room or he's looking the other way. So if this dog isn't going to be looking for hand signals like he was trained for sit and down where you're looking at the handler. So what they did is they didn't put a shock collar on like when you think of an electric fence. It was not a shock collar. It was a collar that vibrated. So it wasn't anything, it was a very light vibration, but it's something that you can feel, just like I have a vibration on my Fitbit that reminds me to take my medicine. It doesn't hurt me. It's not like I walk over a line and it shocks me, but it has a slight vibration. So they put that special collar on the dog, and they just got him used to feeling the vibration, giving a treat, feeling the vibration, giving him a treat, so the dog doesn't get freaked out by it. And then feeling the vibration being farther away, and the dog coming to, is his name Brandon, who was in this show? The trainer? Going to the trainer for the treat and for the treat. And then they showed after, a lot of work that the dog would be like in the middle of the yard doing whatever, and Brandon would press the remote that signals the vibration in the collar, and the dog would come to him. And I was like, oh my gosh, that is such a genius idea. So this dog is going with a perfectly abled family, but they're teaching all the commands to the family because they need to be able to communicate with a dog that's deaf and have the remote with them. So it's just amazing, the technology that they have and how you can train a dog to come when the dog is deaf with this method. I think is ingenious, and I'm really intrigued, and I really like this show because I learn a lot of things, and it's just such a happy show to watch because there's always such a happy outcome. Right now they're trying to help a dog with really severe anxiety. It's like a chocolate lab mix.
It's not separation anxiety. It's just basic anxiety.
Wow.
So,
Just, they tried like compression shirts, calming sprays, all these things. And now they're bringing the dog to the vet. And I'm gonna see what happens. What I really like about this vet that they're showing, I feel so bad about this really dark lighting. It's really kind of creepy. But they didn't just put the dog on some medication, whereas most people that would go to their doctor and talk about symptoms of anxiety, they would put them on an anti-anxiety, antidepressive drug, and they gave this dog a supplement. And of course there are drugs, pharmaceutical drugs that dogs can have and are special for dogs and other animals, and there are definitely times when they are needed, antibiotics and all sorts of things. But I thought it was really cool and really neat that they went with a natural way, because I know there are doggy Xanax that they can give to dogs, and nobody really wants to be drugged up on things like that. And I'm sure no dog wants to be on that either, especially with what kind of side effects could come with that. And I've got my, oh, I can't see him. You can't see him at all. I got my hand on him. My Sonoma boy down here. If I had my salt lamp on, you'd be able to see me better. But I honestly don't even care right now. It's past midnight. So it's technically Tuesday, June 12th. That is the background. Oh, that was the background on my iPad. So what happened to the lab that had anxiety is just like the vet thought. In a couple months, like 2 months, the supplement really started to work, and the dog was like anxiety free, and then was able to go to a loving home, which is amazing because the dog was like a skittish, crazy mess. And that's probably why a bunch of people didn't adopt the dog and didn't give the dog a chance. I don't know why I'm like awake. It's not that late for me, but usually I'm just like watching YouTube hanging out instead of making a video at this time. I didn't take a nap today. I've been up all day. I rested, yeah, of course, but I had gymnastics for 2 hours. I went to BRT, came back. My brother came home from college, so that was nice. I don't know if he's asleep, or he might be wide awake. I'll text him, because then I might go like hang out with him. Sonoma's asleep, he's tired. I had a really good night at gymnastics. I choreographed whole beam routine. Probably needs a little, you know, bits of little changes as we go along, but whole thing's done in probably 10 minutes, so that was really great. And I've been eating really healthy and drinking coconut water pretty much every day. I had one today that has aloe in it, pieces of aloe, and that was really good. And what else? I made sauteed kale, and I had Brussels sprouts, and I had falafels, if that's how you pronounce it. They're like, they taste like hash browns, but they're like, the main ingredients are like chickpeas and sweet potatoes and some kind of spices, and then they're made into like these patty things with like gluten-free flour, and then they're like made on the stove like a potato pancake, but well, there actually is a potato in it because it's sweet potato. So I had that, and I think I'm gonna save this for another video, but I am technically vegan now. I decided for ethical reasons that I really don't want to eat meat. I only ate poultry, and that was really only turkey, with the small exception of chicken. No fish anymore. I used to eat fish all the time, but then I realized that you can't get like any good quality fish that isn't farm raised, and everything is so deceiving, so I just stopped eating fish. Especially when like my mercury levels and all kind of things were high and a mess. And there's other ways to get those good omega-3s that are found in salmon, and fish oil supplements are a thing that I take. So chicken and turkey were the only things I had that came from an animal. And since I'm not eating dairy or eggs anymore, that technically makes me vegan, which is really interesting. It wasn't my intent, it just happened that way, and I was like, wow, that's really interesting. So I'm like fooling around with recipes and having a lot of fun with that. I just heard someone go downstairs. I hope it's not my mom, because she's gonna come in and be like, why aren't you asleep? Turn off the lights, you're not gonna want to wake up in the morning. But I have insomnia and painsomnia, so I'm just gonna keep watching TV. And that was a little hangout night with me, talking about stuff that's been going on, and whoa, that's dark. There I am a little bit. I just moved him from the center of the bed, and now he's back. I'm gonna try to rest because, I can't do that yet. I'm gonna try to rest because I've definitely been having a Lyme flare. Maybe that's why I'm awake so much and then sleeping so much and all over the place. I really want to make tea, but I shouldn't stimulate myself more, so I'm just gonna put on YouTube or keep watching Lucky Dog and hope that I fall asleep, and put on some music and hope that I fall asleep before 2. That was Insomnia Night with Cassidy. See you later. See you next time.